One other chart that we are watching closely has been mortgage rates. Mortgage rates, of course, have been on the rise as the Federal Reserve is raising its underlying rate. And as we are seeing the market react to the Fed's promise of more rate increases. Let's talk about the dynamic within the housing market and the ripple effect from that. Daryl Fairweather is back with us, Redfin chief economist. Daryl, it's good to see you. So in your view, how do people consider these rising rates? Sometimes you see a surge of activity as rates start to go up because people are worried they're going to go up more. Is that the kind of thing we're seeing in the market?
We were seeing that in January, February, early March, but now rates are so high, I think it's having more of a deterrent effect than an encouraging effect on home buyers. There are still some home buyers out there who have their rates locked from weeks ago and are probably still very much active and looking to get a home locked in so they can take advantage of that low rate. But most of the people out there on the market are now facing much higher mortgage rates, and that adds a lot to their housing expenses and makes it less likely that they're going to bid over asking.
Daryl, do you see a sharp slowdown in the U.S. housing market this year, or is it more drips and drabs each month?
It won't be super abrupt because it's going to take time for these higher mortgage rates to filter through the market. There are still buyers out there with low mortgage rates locked in, and there aren't that many sellers. So there's much more demand than there is supply. And even if demand gets a haircut, there's probably still going to be more demand than supply for the near future. But I do think the housing market will be a bit less hot come summer.
So let's go back to what you said about bidding over ask. What are we going to see on that? I mean, it feels like this latest period was characterized by a lot of bidding wars, right? Multiple offers coming in on hot properties, everyone trying to outbid the next. Is that done? Are we not seeing that so much right now?
It's starting to fade. I was talking to one of our real estate agents in Seattle, and she was saying that it used to be that homes would get a dozen offers, and now it's more like two or three. That's still multiple offers and still could lead to a situation where the home goes above asking price. But I think as time goes on, it'll go down to just one or two offers or one or zero offers, and homes will actually start to sit on the market.
What can you do, Daryl, if you're locked in a mortgage and your monthly payments are, no pun intended, going through the roof? What can you do?
If you're a first-time home buyer, it's a tough market for you because in many places, it's both home prices, mortgage rates, and rents that are going up all at the same time. The only way to really reduce your housing costs and come out with more disposable income is to move somewhere more affordable or compromise on a smaller home. So people are going to have to make those decisions. And I think we're actually going to see a lot of people choosing to move somewhere more affordable because of the tight labor market and remote work.
Of course, to put it all in perspective, mortgage rates are still low by historical perspectives. I mean, if you talk to, my parents' generation or maybe your grandparents' generation, they were paying a lot, like many multiples of what people are paying now. But I want to pick up on the last thing that you were talking about in terms of affordability. Are there still affordable areas? When we've seen prices go up seemingly everywhere, where are the areas of the country where people can still get something that is, quote unquote, more affordable on a relative basis?
Everything is relative. So in Austin, for example, asking rents are up 40% from last year and home prices are up more than 20%. But if you're coming from San Francisco, where homes cost double or more what they do in Austin, it doesn't really faze you that Austin is more expensive than it was a year ago. You're just comparing it to where you're coming from. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for many people to look at whether where they live is really where they should be living, given how expensive things are getting, and reevaluate that. We're going to see any place around the country that is more affordable than, say, the coast, the West Coast and the East Coast, see more demand and higher prices. And I think that's going to continue even with higher mortgage rates.
And just quickly as well, I'm curious about the urban-suburban dichotomy, right? During the pandemic, obviously, we saw a lot of migration out of the cities. We saw the price pressure. That seems to have reversed and then some. But is that what you're seeing nationwide in terms of the urban-suburban dynamic?
We are seeing a return to cities. There isn't this stark difference between where home buyers are looking. People are looking all over and they're willing to take whatever they can get. So Plenty of people are looking towards cities, looking at denser housing. Condo prices are up quite a bit, more than even for single family homes right now. So people are looking at all their housing options and all the locations.